Is he planning to become the new king of crypto? Or maybe the next major real estate mogul? Wherever he's headed, Barron Trump has been shaped by a lifetime in the spotlight and by his family's connections. Barron Trump's arrival in the world came as a bit of a surprise to his parents. Donald and Melania found out they had a son on the way about 5 months after their wedding in 2005. As Melania recalled to People magazine at the time, he came home one day last August and I told him he'd be a daddy. And his reaction was, at first he needed to take it in. It was a real surprise. And then he was very happy. Meanwhile, Donald added, I expected we were going to have children, so I wasn't totally surprised, but I was surprised by the speed of it. It happened very quickly.
My hands are full now.
Barron was born on March 20th, 2006, and by the time he was just 1 year old, he'd already started walking and talking. As his mother revealed to People, he is very smart and very serious. He loves toys that you learn from. He loves books. He's telling me what he wants to read. At a mere 3 weeks old, Barron Trump had an entire floor of a penthouse to himself. You heard that right. His floor in his parents' $100 million New York City triplex reportedly included its own kitchen, living room, nursery, and separate rooms for his mother and nanny to stay. It also had enough space to hold a golden stroller with a built-in chandelier that Ellen DeGeneres bought for him. In 2012, when Barron was 6 years old, his mother Melania told Parenting magazine, "In his space, the decor style of the rest of our home is mixed with what he is into: planes and helicopters. We let him be creative, let his imagination fly, and do whatever he wants. Whatever he wants to do with his own room later on, he can do it." Barron's birth in 2006 was met with plenty of fanfare. After all, his father has quite the Rolodex of celebrity connections, many of whom were more than happy to send their best wishes and some expensive gifts to the newborn. These presents included a white mink coverlet from fashion designer Dennis Basso, a giant stuffed dog from journalist Barbara Walters, and that golden stroller from Ellen DeGeneres. In the years since, Barron has been fortunate enough to continue to reap the benefits of his father's connections. In 2018, for example, Russian President Vladimir Putin gifted his American counterpart a soccer ball when it was announced that the United States would host the World Cup in 2026, and the American president knew exactly who he would pass it to.
That's very nice. That will go to my son Barron. We have no question. In fact, Melania, here you go.
Unlike most presidential children before him, Barron's move into the White House didn't happen right away. During his father's first inauguration in January 2017, Barron was just 9 years old and finishing up the second half of his 5th grade school year. As reported by the New York Times, his mother didn't want to uproot him from his home and friends in the middle of the school year, so they decided to hang back for 6 months. Melania was her son's main caregiver at the time, and she often took him to and from his private school in Manhattan. Melania was also hoping to keep her son's journey to the White House low-key, to avoid any undue public scrutiny. They eventually made their way to D.C. full-time in June 2017. The president told People magazine that while his son was hesitant to make the change, he ultimately obliged for the greater good. As he put it, "When he hears I'm going to help people, that solves the problem." Some 5th grade classes go to the zoo for a field trip, while others go to the aquarium. But for Barron Trump's 5th grade classmates, their field trip was far more luxurious. In May 2017, he brought a group of 80 kids from his 5th grade class at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School to the White House for a tour that included a meet and greet with the president. The kids all got dressed up for the occasion and were flanked by Secret Service agents during their time there. As a source told Page 6, they had a buffet lunch and a tour of the White House and met the president and the First Lady. President Trump gave them all a rousing speech about living up to your potential and being the best you could be for your country. Barron was really sweet. He was so excited to show his classmates around the White House. The field trip also included a tour of Washington, D.C. before everyone headed back to New York City the following morning. Being the son of a president isn't always all it's cracked up to be, as the public scrutiny can sometimes turn ugly. In 2017, Barron ended up in the headlines when Saturday Night Live writer Katie Rich made an ill-considered joke by tweeting, "Barron will be this country's first homeschool shooter." NBC quickly suspended Rich, and her name was deleted from SNL's closing credits. Former first daughter Chelsea Clinton took the issue personally and even defended Barron, despite disagreeing with his dad's politics. As she wrote on Facebook, "Barron Trump deserves the chance every child does, to be a kid. Standing up for every kid also means opposing POTUS policies that hurt kids."
He's a kid, for Christ's sake.
Rich deactivated her account and then reactivated it days later to make amends. As she wrote, "I sincerely apologize for the insensitive tweet. I deeply regret my actions and offensive words. It was inexcusable, and I'm so sorry." Barron was nowhere to be found during a pretty significant moment at the end of his father's first presidential term in 2021. As Donald Trump made his final farewell to the American people on the tarmac while waiting to board Air Force One, his wife and most of his kids were there to support him. Barron, however, was nowhere to be seen. He also wasn't spotted leaving the White House for Joint Base Andrews to watch his father wave goodbye to the presidency. Meanwhile, Barron's older siblings, their significant others, and Donald's grandchildren were all in attendance in the front row that day. It's unclear exactly why Barron wasn't at the farewell, although he wasn't completely missing that day, as he did take the same ride on Air Force One alongside his parents on their way to Florida. In September 2024, Barron started attending New York University's Stern School of Business. He's reportedly quite popular at NYU, despite trying to maintain a low profile. According to his mother, Melania, his campus life is far from ordinary. As she explained on Fox News, he doesn't have a normal college experience, and you need to be very vigilant about who you trust and who you're connecting with. He knows that. He grew up very fast. His childhood from 10 years old was very different.
We teach them, we guide them, and then we give them the wings to fly.
That's not to say that Barron doesn't have a social life at all. When he's not showing his impressive soccer skills on the field, he's been getting acquainted with the gaming community. He reportedly asked for some of his classmates' Discord usernames and gamer tags in a bid to connect online. As for romance, a source told Radar Online that Barron was basically a repellent for women during his first year at NYU. However, things eventually started to turn around, with romance rumors starting to swirl up around the end of his freshman year. As of 2025, he's rumored to be going out with a mysterious girlfriend. Donald Trump was once a heavy critic of the cryptocurrency industry. During his first presidential term, he publicly expressed his doubt about the real-life value of this new payment form. But then, as he was gearing up to go back into the White House, he appeared to have changed his tune. That change probably had a lot to do with the influence of his youngest son, who dipped his toes in the crypto arena long before his dad did. In September 2024, Donald announced the creation of the Trump family crypto venture, World Liberty Financial. As he revealed at the time, Barron's a young guy, but he knows it. He talks about his wallet. He's got 4 wallets or something. And I'm saying, what is a wallet? While the Trumps have been stingy with details about World Liberty Financial, they've since reached some major financial milestones. In January 2025, it was reported that Donald made $57 million from the company. Months later, it emerged that he wasn't the only member of the family earning big bucks, as Barron made a gross income of $40 million from their dealings, which translated to $25 million after taxes. After Donald Trump was elected president again in 2024, voting patterns revealed an increased support for him among Black voters, Hispanic voters, and men under the age of 50. According to Trump, attracting a younger voting base had a lot to do with the efforts of his youngest son, whom he made sure to spotlight during his inauguration.
I have a very tall son named Barron. Has anyone ever heard of him?
Donald got into details by revealing that Barron encouraged him to appear on certain shows and podcasts that would appeal to younger people, like the Joe Rogan Experience.
And he was saying, Dad, you got to go out and do this one and that one, and we did a lot of them.
Melania Trump later revealed that in addition to offering this advice, Barron also singled out the specific people that his dad should contact in order to gain traction. The Trump family's real estate empire includes residential buildings like the 58-story Trump Tower, luxury hotels and resorts, and golf courses. The foundation of the story dates all the way back to 1908, when Donald Trump's grandfather, Frederick Trump, purchased his first piece of property, a building located north of Jamaica Avenue in New York City. So it was hardly a surprise when Barron decided to try his hand in the family business. In July 2024, he combined forces with his high school friend, Cameron Roxburgh, and real estate expert Carter Fulcher to incorporate Trump, Fulcher, and Roxburgh Capital Inc. The luxury real estate firm was set to operate from an office in Palm Beach, Florida, although the trio shut it down shortly after Donald won the 2024 election. According to Roxburgh, the company was dissolved temporarily to keep its operations away from the prying eyes of the media during Donald's campaign. The trio were reportedly eyeing investments in Utah, Arizona, and Idaho, and they were supposed to make a comeback in the spring of 2025. However, Roxburgh later told Fox Business that there wouldn't be a return after all. Melania Trump's mother, Amalia Nobbs, passed away in January 2024. As Melania wrote on social media, Amalia Nobbs was a strong woman who always carried herself with grace, warmth, and dignity. She was entirely devoted to her husband, daughters, grandson, and son-in-law. Nobbs' funeral was held in Palm Beach, Florida, in an event that was attended by her close family and Trump political allies. After her passing, a source close to the family told People magazine that she and Barron were especially close. As the source put it, there have been times when Barron has been with his grandparents more than with Melania, and a lot more than with Donald. According to Melania, her mother moved from her home country of Slovenia so that she could be closer to Barron. As she explained during an interview on Fox and Friends, Barron was her focus. It's almost like she was a second mother, especially because of my schedule in the White House and being so busy.
And they had an incredible bond. Her and Barron, it was a relationship like no other.